Hi, welcome back to another video. I'm Dan from On Top Marketing, and today we're going to be looking at e-commerce SEO. I'm making this video for two reasons. The first reason is if you're basically a e-commerce website owner and you know you need to grow your traffic and you're looking at working with an agency, this video right here is going to help you figure out whether or not the agency you're looking at working with is going to really make a difference or not. SEO can be a little bit like the Wild West sometimes, of people selling services that don't really make a difference, and the things I'm about to share in this video absolutely will make a difference, and I'll back it up in a minute with some results. The other type of person that this video is going to be massively helpful for is somebody who is sort of a intermediate level SEO that's not worked on a national size project before, and is looking to figure out what to actually do for their client. I'm going to lay out exactly what to do here, and save you a few years of trial and error, and also, thousands of pounds in courses, because that's the way that I learned this stuff. So the very first thing that you need to be doing is assessing what's already working, and the way that you do that is you gain access to Search Console and you gain access to analytics. Those are the two most important things, really. And after that, you want to look in the Search Console and see which pages are bringing in the most traffic, or any traffic. You can just go into pages here and see which ones are bringing it in. This is actually for my agency site. This isn't an e-commerce site, but I'm just using it as an example. Go to queries, see what they're getting. You can go to, you could put a specific page in here if you wanted to, and then filter by the query and see what they're getting. But really go through this and have a look, because I got a client about a year and a half ago who had worked with another agency, and they had made a bunch of decisions based off best practices that you can find on any popular SEO website. And best practices is very rarely the right decision to make, is to follow a best practice. And when a lot of people talk about keyword cannibalization, I think that you shouldn't base a decision off of that unless you actually understand it well. And they managed to remove a page, or they took all of the products and content and titles out of a page that was bringing in traffic, because there was another page that they figured targeted it. I guess that's the only thing I can imagine. And actually dropped them off the first page of results. They was ranking at the bottom of the first page. They took them off there by making this change based on, as I say, the only thing I can imagine, keyword cannibalization, which is based on some of the other decisions that they made, and really dropped their website's revenue just based on the fact that they didn't really understand it. So do not be making decisions based off best practices. Have a look and figure out for yourself what's really working and not working, and go through and assess, is it really valuable to remove this page? Well, if the page is bringing in 18 clicks or 20 clicks, then no, you don't want to be, because that's traffic you wouldn't be getting otherwise. Now, you may want to optimize that more so you get more traffic, but the very first thing, don't go through and delete a bunch of pages. That should be a step. That should be step number one here, is don't go through and delete a bunch of pages without actually knowing what you're doing. So that's the first thing. After that, so now we've got this one done, we now want to go through research. So we know what's working. Now we want to research what's working for other people, as well as, what other opportunities there are out there, even if other people haven't taken them yet. Just let me jump in very quickly and just show you this. This is some e-commerce SEO results I've got from a client. This is a different client right here, e-commerce SEO, as are these two as well. So as you can see, most of these are doubled in traffic. This one I took from almost nothing, so I don't even know how much percentage of an increase that is, but it's a hell of a lot, I can tell you that much. So I know what I'm talking about. Right, so we need to find out what opportunities there are. Now let's use the example of washing machines, as I work with quite a few clients who sell white goods. So if we type in here washing machine without the S, singular, we'll get back all the plural results. Go to phrase match. Ahrefs, by the way, is an SEO tool. It's probably the best one right now as I'm filming this video, so I'd say just go ahead and buy this if you don't already have it. And then you can go through here and just pull up a list, make a list of these keywords. So washing machine, we won't target that one like that unless you are big enough to. But we got right here Bosch washing machine, so we know that we need a brand category page for that. This is recall, so we don't really want to target those. No one's going to buy looking for that. Beco, so this is another brand. Hotpoint, so that's another brand. So we definitely would like to have pages targeting those. Currys is a different company, so we can't target that. Now sometimes you can, and I've done this a few times and actually targeted other companies' names, and you can get away with it if it isn't so obvious. But when it's something as abstract as Currys, it's a little bit hard to do, so I wouldn't be able to with that. But there are other ones that you absolutely can, legally as well, by the way. Right, so I won't go through every single brand because we all know Samsung is, and Indesit, and etc. But then we've got other ones here, so these are brand keywords, and then we've got the sort of types. So we'd want a filtered category page for this integrated washing machine. Repair won't always be relevant. Miele is another brand. Best washing machine. So this right here is a great keyword, and this is actually a blog. So you wouldn't be able to rank a product for best washing machine. It'd be very unlikely you'd be able to do that, because the intent behind the search is actually somebody is probably going to be looking for comparison type things, like a blog that's explaining, the best ones in this year and then breaking down why they're the best. So they're great blogs to make because you can sell a lot through those. So that's definitely a blog worth building out. And you'd put the year, whatever the year is, 2020, 2021, whatever. Sal, right? These ones I call buyer intent keywords. So I'll actually put that up here, and I'll teach you how to use these in a minute. So I won't go through all of these, but I'll just go through a few of them so I can explain how it works. So here's another one with buyer intent. That's the same keyword again. Black. So this is another type. I actually normally will call these filtered category pages, so I'll just go back to that. Clean washing machine. It's a little bit open-ended, but I would say that's a blog. Oh, there you go. So it says it right there. How to clean washing machine. So that's a blog. And then washing machine symbols. That's also a blog. Smelly washing machine is going to be a blog. Right, so that's the first page, and these are ordered by volume. So we can see right there the sort of things that people are typing in. And from this, what we can decipher, the reason I separated these buyer intent ones out is there's another way that people search as well. And as I work with this industry quite a lot, so I know this. They also look based on cheap. They'll type the word cheap, and you would normally think that if somebody's typing in cheap, they would be not really the sort of person you want on your site, because they probably ain't got much money and they don't really want to spend money, and they might be a bit of trouble and ask for refunds and stuff like that. Those sort of keywords can sometimes suggest that. However, cheap has actually been quite a high converting keyword over the years for me, especially with this industry. And I think that really what that intent shows is that they're looking to buy more than, and they're looking to buy and they want to get the best price on it. So that's an objection they have, is price. So they want to make sure that you're giving the best price. So if you offer a price match promise, if you make that more prominent, you'll help to, increase the conversion rate right there. But they do seem to buy. So it's worth going for, regardless of the fact that normally in other areas of life you'd think, I don't really want to mess around with these people. They're probably going to be time wasters. These people buy, and I don't actually think it shows a class of people either. I think most people are looking for it like this, or a large amount of the buyers do search in this way. So with that, and this is what you'll see on any white goods website that I've worked on, the way that we do this is in our H1 and title tag. So our H1 and title, these are the main two things that actually target a keyword properly, is the H1 and title tag. They just are. There's not many SEOs will argue that, although now I've said it, someone probably will. But anyone who tracks results knows that the H1 tag and the title tag are the main two things that indicate to Google what the page is about. So the way that I would target the most keywords for the overall washing machines landing page, like the category page that brings them all in, would be to have cheap washing machine and then bring in this deals right here. as the H1 and the title tag. And then further through, I would add some content. And I like to add a few hundred words of content. And in that, I would definitely mention things like this: washing machine deals, washing machine sale. And one of the ways that I've actually done this in the past is I'll say something like, don't miss our next washing machine sale, and then in there I can have a call to action for them to sign up to the newsletter, which is a win-win, because then we get traffic based on washing machine sale, which has buyer intent, and we also get some of those people to sign up to the newsletter, which means we can, put them through the funnel, warm them up, and then sell to them when they're more familiar with the brand. So this now, we've actually jumped forward one without me crossing it off. We're now on the optimizing stage, really, because we're looking at what we do with our existing pages. And this is how we'd optimize those main ones. So the main washing machine page would be like this, if you're selling washing machines, cheap washing machine deals. Now we could see that based on the keyword research here, that was how people search. In some industries, they don't actually look like this. And it's actually more to do with the categories, which I call filtered category pages. So integrated, black. I know that a lot of people look for like 8 kg and stuff like that. And whatever you're selling, there will be something like that. If you're selling weights or something, there'll be Olympic weights, cast iron weights, whatever it is, different types. And you'll want to build out a category page for each one of those. Again, this is where it goes against the conventional SEO wisdom, because people will often say don't build too many pages, but that's just nonsense, guys. It's just not true. It works, okay? So you want to go through all of the filtered category, build those out, all of these, build those out, and then you want to add content to all of these. So you want to target them in a very similar way. So like the black washing machine page, for example, I would target that by saying cheap black washing machine deals. That would be the H1 and the title. And in the content, I would mention those things as well. And as I say, a few hundred words of content on the page as well. And, go through all the ones that you have, map out the keywords, add the content to them. And then the next step is so now we've got the optimize done. Now we're going to create. And there's a lot of reasons why we create content and pages. Obviously, if we're creating out filtered category pages like this, like a black washing machine page, for example, which people like the color. If we build out a page for this and we start getting traffic for that from people searching for black washing machine, we obviously wouldn't have had that traffic had we not built it, right? So it's definitely moving us in the right direction. So that's the first reason to do it. And that's why you want to focus on building out these, is because these ones are very likely to relate to sales, and these as well. These keywords we're using to optimize these pages and these pages. Then, after you build out your filtered category pages, you then want to build out these blogs. And now, best washing machine, that does have the potential to sell washing machines, and for obvious reasons, because if somebody's looking for the best something, then it's obviously brilliant, because they probably have a bit of budget to spend, right? And they're also looking for the best one because they want to buy the best one, and the intent's quite clear there. And you can see this with conversion. If you've got conversion tracking set up, you can often find that those keywords will convert quite well. So those sort of blogs will definitely translate to sales. These sort of blogs very likely won't. Washing machine symbols, how to clean a washing machine, smelly washing machine, like no one's going to search for this and then actually buy anything. So on the surface, it can seem like a waste of time, because you can say, well, I've got a bunch of traffic coming in now and none of them are buyers, so what's the point of that? And that's why, talk to me a few years ago, I'd say there's no point doing it. However, over the years, what I've come to learn is that, so a lot of people will rationalize this stuff and say that it's because then people learn about the brand, and there is some, an element of truth to that. However, the real value that you get from these is, in these, you can internally link to these pages, and these ones are what bring in money. So let's say like integrated washing machine, for example, right? Now, if you've got a page, a blog post that targets smelly washing machine, and you can literally just do that by just taking that, putting a question mark on it, and then making the title like, here's how to fix it, I don't know, whatever, identify the problem, provide a solution. You can easily do that and then target that at the beginning of title and H1 and have that as your URL. Now in there you could have, you know, that as a H2, for example, and then explain how to do it, because there probably will be a difference. I don't know, I don't clean washing machines, I ain't got a clue, but you know, there probably will be a difference in how you clean them, because maybe they're a little bit harder to get to or something like that, or you might need to, something might have fell down the back. I ain't got a clue, but there'll be something. And then if you build out a bit of content around that, now in your content you could link somewhere in this text here that you write out, you can internally link the anchor text of integrated washing machine to your filtered category page. Now we have an internal link, which is something that Google uses to see how valuable a page is. So now that page is going to have a better chance of ranking, because Google thinks it's more important on your website. And also you've got a traffic source, and it does provide traffic to that page as well, which is another thing that Google uses as a signal. So it ultimately powers up the website. And then the other thing, so I would say that's about 50% of the reason why you definitely want to be doing blogs, even if there aren't commercial intent. The other thing is that traffic, I have no doubt in my mind now, is a ranking factor. Like, if you're getting a lot of traffic on your website, when you have an authoritative website that's getting a bunch of traffic, if you build out a new page and you check in the search console, it will start getting traffic really fast. Whereas if you don't have an authoritative website that's getting a load of traffic and you build out a new page, it doesn't get any traffic for ages, like months. So these things also just help Google to see that you're a valuable source of information, or just a valuable website that should rank for these different keywords. So it really helps on that front as well. So I know that I've not actually gone into depth and shown individually each step how to build out these things, but the problem is there's so many different systems, and I work with Magento, WooCommerce, Shopware, loads of different e-commerce platforms out there. I can't really show on each one. So if there is a specific thing in this, what I've taught, that you want broken down, if you drop it in the comments, I will make a video about it at some point, and explain it in more depth. But this should be enough to get you in the right direction. I wish I knew this stuff, a few years ago. It would have been great to have developed at that speed. But as I say, these results right here are very achievable if you do follow what I've taught. And if you need any help with your e-commerce SEO, then give us a call, or just drop your details into the form on this page right here, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.